Hey everybody, just wanted to give a quick rundown on what I think is going on here in the market right now. Friday, as you know, or if you're just crawled out from under a rock, we had a really bad sort of labor report and inflation report, and um, uh, but the thing I find really interesting is a report right before that one. Basically did doubly better. This one did almost doubly as bad. So we're in this weird sort of topsy-turvy, still recovering from COVID kind of economy thing. I believe anyway. That's just me personally and what I've been seeing and what I've been reading and stuff. And then today you saw a large sell-off on Wall Street, which I think is probably fueled by a lot of speculators expecting things to continue in a downward turn, trying to cash out in order to get their cash reserves up so that they can buy back in. So I think what you're going to start to see then is sort of like COVID stock market thing going on where it dives and then there's a big sell off and then it comes back and then it dives and comes back. And I think some of this is to do with just interest rates and where they are sitting right now. Some of it is election driven as well. But if we're talking about interest rates, over the last year and a half or so, as you know, if you're in the market at all, and probably if you've been alive at all, you've noticed that the housing market has slowed just a bit. But what's really cool about it is that it is continues to be a seller's market. It can be frustrating for buyers though because the rates are high, the inventory is still fairly low versus years past. And but what's nice for buyers is right now with these interest rates high, you're seeing homes linger a little bit longer because now there's not as much competition. So buyers have choice, which means that your home basically needs to be, if you're a seller, basically needs to be ready to sell, which means you want to have all the deferred maintenance done, the new roof, updated appliances, fix any deferred maintenance issues that are going on in the place. My team and I can help you do that if you're interested in exploring those kind of options. If you do all that work and you come to market basically move in ready, means that the front yard's done. It's just a beautiful home. Not saying that your home isn't beautiful, but you basically want to when a buyer walks in, they're like, oh, I can buy this. I don't have to do anything. Perfect. I'm going to buy this house, and they basically most of the time will buy it at market value, if not slightly above market value. And most of the time with that too, if you do all that pre-work, your inspections go much smoother. You don't have as many call outs. You might not have any call outs if you do all that work prior to listing it on the market. But what you will see, and what I believe is driving some of this homes lingering on the market a bit, is this report came out about whatever it was 8 days ago, and they are basically saying that 2/3 of the listings now are lasting for longer than 30 days on the market, which is up 60% year over year. But if you look at the numbers a little bit closer, you're seeing that this is actually still a seller's market, especially here in the Seattle area. We don't list Tacoma in this breakdown, but here in the Seattle area, so only less than 50% of the homes are lasting 30 days or more on the market, which means a little over 50% are selling within 30 days. And that increase year over year is only 1.3%, which is really nominal. It's not making that big of a difference. And basically what that means is we're still in a seller's market if you're a buyer. And so they can still sit there. So if a seller can be patient and their house isn't selling right away, they actually have the liquidity supposedly to sit on the market a little bit longer and wait for that right buyer to walk in. And what might end up happening is that seller, if they do have a lot of deferred maintenance or they're not priced aggressively or with energy, as they say, then they are probably going to be, if they want to sell it eventually, and they're going to start looking at doing price reductions to either deal with the deferred maintenance or the other issues that might be going in the house, or they're having to drop it down to basically market value, where the buyers are actually going to start coming into the house because they feel that the house is now priced properly. So again, it pays to get your house basically move-in ready in this market. As a buyer, though, I do want to point out a couple of things. one thing as a seller, again, going into this a little bit deeper, in a presidential election year, you see that housing prices over the last 9 elections, 9 of the last 11 elections actually, you see home prices rise right afterwards. And you'll also see that interest rates actually come down just a little bit, usually in that July to November area, which is right where we're at, right? So they're talking already now that the Fed might actually drop the interest rates this month to try to get things reactivated sooner than September. My guess is they will probably wait till September because they're a cautious bunch over there at the Fed. But in 2020 it came down 0.25%, but in 2016 they actually bumped it, trying to slow down the market already. But in general, you see the rates come down in that November window. And then what happens after that, other than the '08 crisis here where Obama got into the White House, but we had a huge financial crisis, if you remember, and we did work our way out of that. But all of these blue lines are the election years. And what you see is that home prices and single-family homes sold actually rockets shortly after the election. So come January, February, into the new year after the holidays, you start seeing those home prices and those homes sold rise. So as a buyer in this current market, it would probably make a lot of sense to start talking to your financial professional and getting pre-approved for a loan, and in the hopes of actually either being ready when those come down in September, or being able to purchase right now. And then once you get into the house, when those rates do come down in the new year, which they're saying they're going to, anything can happen in this crazy world, right? But if the rates come down, then you can refinance that house. Most lenders will waive their fees at that point, and you'll see all of that sort of activity, and you probably won't have to get an appraisal as well. Sorry. Anyway, as a seller though, looking at the current market, you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm going to wait to list till after the election because home prices go up. But if home prices go up, interest rates come down, what's going to happen? Buyers are going to flood the market, right? And so while you might get that extra X percentage additional cost or price for your home, you might end up actually spending that money actually to get into a new home, because competition is going to go up, which is going to drive prices higher, which may actually mean that you're into a competitive bidding process, when you start getting into those homes. The other thing that you'll have to keep in mind too is as prices go up, competition rises. What's going to happen? Sellers are going to stop fixing up their homes. They're not going to be so move-in ready because they won't have to, because competition is going to be high. So you might sell your home for that much percentage over what you want for it right now in January or February. But with all that competition and stuff, you might end up having to purchase a home or find a home that you love that isn't fully move-in ready, and you'll end up spending money yourself on fixing all those little issues that might be going on in the house. Either way, you basically even out. And it feels to me like a much better bet to try to get your home listed this fall, to try to take advantage of the fewer number of buyers, to try to drive your price a little bit higher, and wade into this market right now. And as a buyer, I think taking advantage of this market right now before competition gets really crazy, housing prices start going up, and you getting into bidding wars and all the craziness that went on before. I don't know if it'll get back to that level, but I think there's a potential for some pretty interesting things to start happening here in this market come the springtime. So anyway, if you have any questions, give me a call. I'd love to hook you up with my preferred lender or with the company that I recommend to help you get your home basically move-in ready. Here to help, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thanks. Also, the sky's not falling. Everything's going to be okay. Some of those pundits out there are really losing their minds. So anyway, stay positive. We're all going to be okay. We'll talk soon. See ya.